Welcome to Heroes Lounge and welcome to Division 1. Division 1 is right now the top division in Heroes Lounge. They went for like a season or two for this Division 1 Plus thing, but that has now been, I think, cancelled. So Division 1 is just Division 1, that's just what it is. And we have two of the top teams right now in the amateur scene right here. And there's of course a couple of familiar names that we're going over. It's the Geilen Baenger against the Vinland Raiders. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into like the teams and also why there's a lot of mixed stuff happening here. This is a best of 3 series, but let's introduce the players in the lineup first. On the left side we got Ultralisk on Falstad. Außensider is playing Liming, Death Knight on Brightwing, Minotaur on Blaze, and Nomi, he's back! Whoop! He's playing baby. Diablo. Uki on Hogger, we got Malfurion played by Unforgiven for the Raiders, Sven on Janna, Gavlo on Tracer, and Nano is playing Hanzo. And as you already noticed probably, like some of those players on those teams usually play for other teams, or you have seen them with a different team. And the beauty of Heroes Lounge is that Heroes Lounge is an amateur scene, so anybody can literally play within that league, and it's pretty cool because it also allows players that usually play for other teams, for Team or whoever, like again, the teams are obviously switching a little bit or have been throughout the last few tournaments, because sometimes for an event they get a sponsor, sometimes they don't. For an offline event they oftentimes need support, so they're playing under the flag of one of the organizations. We had them with Chili Mountain, and yeah, there was a lot obviously going on. But at the end of the day, usually there are a couple of core teams that you have, or players that you have playing together. But the beauty of Heroes Lounge, and that's where I wanted to go with this, is that they don't care about all of that. So you can literally just play with a couple of mates and a couple of friends, and that's about it. So this is really just about having fun with friends, and everybody should really check Heroes Lounge out. It's absolutely amazing. If you want to play some competitive Heroes of the Storm, no matter what level you're on, being a bronzy or being a grandmaster doesn't make a difference. They have a lot of different divisions that you can check out. So heroeslounge.gg in case that you're interested. But in this case we now have, for this particular season, which has just now started, the Geilen Baenger over on the blue team. So a little bit of an homage to the introduction of Team Liquid at the last BlizzCon from Kevin, as he came onto the stage, coached by me, and came in and introduced them as the Geilen Baenger from Team Liquid. Hazo is playing on this team too, but not so today. But it's kind of cool for me as well, because I'm now looking at the man who got just killed a second ago. So Nomi is back. They have a few people in their roster that are, I mean, really just like from the days of old. So Nomi, obviously famously known for pretty much hitting every single hook that he throws out with stitches. At the same time, also known to never really connect the Stormbolt. The name Nomi Stormbolt exists for a reason, so he uses zoning Stormbolts mostly. It's actually not quite true, it wasn't that bad, but it became a bit of a meme. But we also have Darkmog part of the team, which is actually pretty amazing. I haven't seen him play yet, but maybe during the season he's going to make an appearance here. Definitely a few familiar names that show up on this one. And then in red you have the Vinland Raiders right now. We've seen them in multiple tournaments, and I expect them to also make an appearance in, for example, Meta Madness. And in case that you haven't seen this yet, Meta Madness is coming back, everybody. We're having the 2023 edition starting in just a few weeks. I will leave links in the description of the video, so if you haven't checked those out yet, if you don't know what that is, you should definitely have a look. Meta Madness is a tournament concept that I started, I want to say 7, 8, 9 years ago, and it really aims to break the meta. So every single hero within a best of 3 or best of 5 series that gets played cannot be played again, which obviously results in a lot of heroes that are unavailable as the series continues. There's also a few heroes that are pre-banned completely, they can't be played at all, and as you might have guessed already, that forces teams to really think outside the box. So from game to game, they really have to think, hey, which heroes are still available, what can we play, meaning you're seeing a lot of Murkies, you're seeing Chogals, you're seeing all kinds of crazy shit, and that makes the tournament just super special and really interesting. So definitely, if you haven't seen any of that yet, make sure that you check out the links in the description. And the cool thing is you can also vote which heroes you would like to not be played at all. Now, the number of how many heroes are pre-banned for the tournament depends on the sub goals that we have on Twitch, if those are being hit or not. but if you are interested to at least cast your vote to which hero should be banned, then you can do that as well. As already mentioned, the links will be in the description. Gavel over here having a little bit of trouble, but Death Knight wasn't able to get the final hits in with Brightwing. At the bottom of the map, with 3 kills on the board for now, we have the blue team a little bit under pressure. They still have to deal with those pumpkins over here, but the attack is coming. Nomi already at the charge here with Diablo up at the front. We have Nano also in trouble, but he is staying away. But not so Johanna. In comes Li Ming with a big hit, and bam, she gets the reset and a second kill. So Malfurion and Johanna are both dead as Li Ming is showing no mercy here. Außenseiter is making the plays, went into Calamity after the Triumvirate here with the Li Ming build. Talking about the builds just a little bit in general, one of the things that is also just now coming in is Brightwing again with the magic spit, just making everybody feel disgusting. For Tracer, we get the Tracer rounds on level 1, so a little bit more vision that really helps you to get the kills over the wall, just as another example here. And now that the teams are slowly heading towards level 10, we have the next objective popping up on the map. As far as team compositions go, Falstad obviously can play a huge role later on in the game. He's the only global thus far, and that would allow them to put a little more pressure onto these side lanes, but also could help them to maybe create a 5 versus 4 situation in the team fight and try to capitalize on superior numbers, at least initially. Hogga hasn't even tried, by the way, to rotate down, but instead has taken the pumpkins and is now doing additional damage at the top. Gives them the experience for level 10, and with both teams now in heroics, here we go. Instantly, we got Nomi with the ult on Diablo. We obviously at the same time now have all of the players slowly starting to fall down towards the altar. 4 kills to 1 in favor of the blue team. The Geilen Baenger on the march here. The Gust is already out. Hanzo still not using the arrow. Außenseiter with an attempted kill. Couldn't get it, but now he himself is in trouble. The arrow comes out and hits him hard. Triple hit, and Li Ming gets popped. Nicely done by Nano. First he avoids the attack, and then he turns around and massively contributes to the kill against Li Ming. They have the advantage now around the altar and immediately can go for the channel here. Both of the teams now on 32 points on the core. Top side, we got Menaldor on the money pick, riding into battle in style, as the red team is hoping to capitalize on the situation a bit further. And they are able to sneak those pumpkins away. The blue team obviously was able to sniff that out very quickly, but there was little that they could do. They just didn't have all of their heroes in position to deal with the situation here, so they have to accept some damage on the bell tower at the bot lane. Still the most important one in the game here. Oh, Ultralis gets immediately hit by a stun, trying to aim for the Gus, but he couldn't quite get that out here. They still get the kill on Malfurion. It was all a ruse. Ultralis, that old master beta over here, baited out the ult from Johanna, made them all scared. They scattered right away, and that made sure that Malfurion had to retreat a little bit farther towards the top to avoid a gust that never came and then was taken out. So, worked out for them. We didn't turn on Falstad quickly enough. Jojo with a good reaction there too. If that Blessed Shield would have been followed up on, the birdie could have been destroyed, but that didn't happen. Now, we still got a fairly even game here. I mean, in experience, there's a slight lead for the Raiders even, despite the fact that they don't have a global on the map, and they also are behind in kills. So, off we go. We got the Revitalize in. Nomi a little bit far out, pops the ult, and burns Malfurion to a crisp. Malfurion is dead, Nomi is still alive, Hanzo's arrow connects, but so does the Calamity, and Li Ming coming in to get another hit, and they get that double kill. 13 to 13, Hogga up at the top is using his PhD in PvE to get more damage onto minion waves and also the bell tower. And I gotta give him a little bit of credit here. He's actually doing fairly okay with this, but now that Ultralisk appeared, he is going to die. There's just no way. Like, worst case scenario would have been a move straight into Gust. I don't know why he tried to use his stun Maybe at the cooldown just back up and could have tried to escape here using his unstoppable frames, but that didn't quite work out. So he got interrupted in the middle of the animation, therefore only a short cooldown reset for the ult, and he's going to be back in time. But every single altar is being heavily fought over now. We have 8 kills to 2, and still the attempt by the blue team to slightly pull ahead here now. Same time, 27,000, 28,000 damage for Hanzo. Top damage in the game. Nomi needled away. Oh, Jojo. Yep, that one got close. And Li Ming is just shelling them down here. One connect after another. Nano nearly dying here. A lot of space created for Außenseiter to come in and get all of these combos through. And it is definitely working for the Geilen Baenger. So, we have them with another altar secured. 8 kills to 2, a little bit of a leading experience now as well for the blue team, so they're starting to really get a bit of a foothold in this game and turn the tides of the battles. But now on the left side here, as you can tell, we have another pumpkin camp that is being attacked right away. They're trying to make a play for this, but can't quite make it work. Diablo is already securing the side. They're still making the play for it. Here's the arrow. And they should get the kill on Liming at least, but they don't. Hogger is the one to die instead. Außenseiter capitalizing on the fact that they could get the kills. Yeah, double for Ultralisk as he comes in to take down Hogger and Jojo. It seems like Malfurion is not going to make it either. At least Liming gets annihilated. Went a little bit too deep, but Tracer is dead. Malfurion doesn't stand a chance, and Nano is the only survivor in this onslaught. The camp itself taken by the blue team. Now we have the boys over here taking another pumpkin set, meaning they could escort the entire 6 pumpkins here into the bell tower. And that would be a bit of a problem. Nano also, he thought he was safe down here, but nope, not a thing. Nope. So he gets killed, he's down, and that is a staggered death on top of it, meaning the bell tower got taken. Blaze had to rotate top. There was a huge minion wave that came in. Massive amounts of experience, of course, for him as well, but they wanted to prevent the bell tower from being claimed. So now we have 5 bell towers to 3. And the timing couldn't be worse, because that means we have 10 points off the red team's core in just a second, the moment that both of these channels go through, and the red team just they can't contest this. So they take the pumpkins, but the shots are being fired. There's also no level 16 for them, so that's another problem. We have them down to 18 points right now. A little bit of topside pressure as Diablo is coming in. Nomi at this point. There's the start. Goodbye. Hogger. No chance here. Gets instantly taken. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, at the bottom of the map, they of course are going to try and take this. Unforgiven is not having a good game, by the way. 16 versus 16. Unforgiven has died 5 times. He is currently getting crushed wherever he pops up, and of course he's on the squishy side. There's a lot of focus on him in particular, but he's having a very rough time here. Died 5 times already. Not that the rest of the team is doing much better. So we have a lot of kills coming through for the blue team now. They have 15 kills to 3, and you can tell that the Raiders are definitely struggling. At the top side we have Menildor, the love child of Mene and Khaldor, trying to go for the bell tower conversion, so he's coming in and applying additional damage as Hogger is hoping to stop this. And even Tracer's moving in right now, trying to make a bit of a play. Gavlo also with the pleb horse. I mean, dude, seriously. Don't you have like an epic mount? Maybe a unique one? Epic and unique that you can use instead of a pleb horse? I mean, come on, ride in battle in style, my friend. Level 20 is around the corner. Both teams have level 16. Triple altar is up on the map. We have a 5 versus 3 bell tower situation going on still. And this is now an opportunity for the red team to fight back a little bit. It's honestly the only fight that they're going to get on even talents. After this, it will be level 20 in the hands of the blue team. So they got to do something here. We already have the channel at the bottom of the map happening. Top, they are going to try and exchange hits. Blaze is moving back immediately, and the rest of the team is already coming in to try and help out here. 5 shots have been connected with the red team's core, meaning they're down to 13 now. And here comes Menaldor. So they're coming in with 6 pumpkins at the bottom of the map. That is bad news, by the way. Nobody's dealing with that. So those pumpkins are absolutely going through. That's single digits on the core for sure. All of them connect easily. 7 points to 29. And once that this one is channeled, if the blue team gets it, they're going to be down to 2 points. Which means, if the team fight is won now by the blue team, they could end the game. They can go for boss and for the altar channel, and it would end the game. So the red team has to win this one. But again, it's Malfurion that gets attacked, and he gets barbecued by Diablo. Nano also in trouble. Ultra, he wants the kill, can't quite get it, might be in trouble himself now, and yep, he gets Hanzoed. But the fight is continuing with the death of Hogger, so it's still a 4 versus 3 situation. Nice attempt by Ultralis, but Nano with the help of Sven was able to take him on and take him down. Now we got level 20 for them on the other hand, and that makes matters infinitely worse for the Raiders. So let's see how this one plays out now. We got first and foremost the Epic Mount this time. We also got the Lord of Terror over here. Diablo coming in right away, and they get the kill on Jojo. Jojo is down. Gavlo is most likely going to fall too. Außenseiter, he wants the kill. He can't quite get it, but he forces Tracer back. The altar has been channeled, and now it is up to the boss. That's the only thing that they still need. But can they go for it? 2 levels of an advantage. We have a 4 versus 4 going on in just a second. 10 seconds until Falstad is back. And they still play this a little bit slower here. Not quite confident to go for the boss yet. It's 18 seconds until Jojo is back, so they go for the fountain, but do they make the play for the boss? That's the question. They got Falstad, they got the Gust, they got a lot of good ults for this one, but they want another kill. And they get it! What a combo! Beautiful play against Tracer, who just gets popped within a second. Malfurion doesn't stand a chance either, so both of them die, and that's gonna be the end of... Well, maybe? Brightwing falling. I mean, they still have a 4 versus 3 going on, but without the support, this might actually still be possible. The Raiders are still holding on to this. Glorious kill against Tracer on the other hand. I mean, the engage from Nomi and then the follow-up from Li Ming were just glorious. But here it is, the death of Jojo, likely going to seal the deal. Falstad jumping in, Nano down, the entire team eliminated, 5-man team wipe. And now the boss is up for grabs. It's only 3 of them left, but that's all that they need. Tracer will be back soon, but not soon enough. Game number 1. Seems like we're going to have a lead for the Geilen Baenger as the blue team takes the boss down. The double altars coming up. Tracer's trying to move over, but it is too little too late. The shots are fired, and this is game as the blue team takes the lead in the best of 3 series here at Division 1 of Heroes Lounge. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Cursed Hollow, map number 2! And guys, I called it in the first map already. Stitches, played by Nomi. So let's see if he still got it, if he can still land those hooks. We have a follow-up. Malfurion is there, so Death Knight can always come in with the root to help to secure the target. And then we got Außenseiter on Maiev, Menaldor on Hogger, and Ultralisk is playing Hanzo. Picking it away from Nano, the Raiders on the right side with Gaflo on Greymane, Unforgiven on Stukov. We got Nano on Chromie as number 2, Uki on Murden, and Sven is playing Blaze. On level 1, it is the Patchwork Creation. So, I'm just waiting for the hooks, honestly. I mean, this is one of the Nomi heroes, that's what he's known for. Muradin, I want to see him play Muradin. I want to see him play Muradin and then make fun of every single Stormball that he misses. Zoning Stormball, look at it! He still got it! Oh my god. And look at Death Knight. Death Knight was sitting at the side here and he's just like, there's no way he's gonna connect the hook. He doubted him. Did you see that moment, that half second of hesitation that he had before he placed the root down and then Muradin just didn't get locked in? That's exactly the problem right there. So, unbelievable. Like, no faith. Nomi already starting things off strong, coming in with a big hook here with Bikini Stitches, and that's what we need from him. Awesome. But we have, of course, now Greymane, who at the bottom of the map already chunked down Hanzo pretty heavily. And Ultralisk had to retreat. And right now, that meant that some of those structures have taken damage. So Gavlo is definitely here to rip out some throats. We also have quick Stormbolt attempt. Bayuki attempting to lock Ultralisk down, which would have led to his demise, pretty obviously, with Greymane being around, but that didn't happen. So now they're double-checking what's going on over here at the camp, and they themselves have already started theirs, but both teams are now willing to commit to the Bruiser camp. Blue team to secure it first, and up here at the top, Chromie is just ghosting around and doing her thing together with Blaze. Down to the bottom of the map, on the other hand, still trying to lay a couple of traps, and Unforgiven with his Stukov. It's a bit of a weird combo, by the way, like that Stukov skin and then also like the mount. That doesn't fit whatsoever, but okay. So, we got a level 4 for Chromie, the Andoral Anomaly. And yep, Stormbolts are coming in. That means that we now also have, in this case, the Sledgehammer. Whereas the blue team hasn't secured level 4 just yet. And again, I want to also quickly note that for the blue team, on their roster is also Hazops. And they got some of the former HTC players in there as well. Darkmook, for example, is part of the team. So the Germans united. They are coming in with the Panzer. At least they're going to try eventually. We know that at some point they're going to play Sachsenhammer here. But yeah, either way. So there are quite a few people on that roster that we haven't seen in a while. Nomi, for example, he disappeared for quite some time too. And right now we already have our playtime, so Stitches is definitely going to get some of that. And they're coming in with another tether, and bam, Unforgiven gets murdered. Easy, quick kill right there. So they go for Stukov, the Admiral being demoted once again, quickly taken down. And then again, the Incinerator Gauntlets are in already. And of course, with the next tribute, or the first tribute popping up, this is where some of the party time is now going to start. And Nano in particular is going to be a thorn in their side the entire time. Should probably not walk through that choke point. Chromie is going to have a field day with that one. But yeah, they got to move back here. And down at the bottom of the map, it is the constant battle between Greymane and Hanzo. The two of them are going toe-to-toe here. But look at these hooks! Nomi with another connect, and that is a kill on Blaze. 2 kills to 0. Nicely done. So, they're coming in, get a couple of hits together at this point. Level 7 is ticking in as well. And yeah, Miliki. Let's see what they can do with this. Can they win the entire thing? A 2-0 victory, of course, for them would be pretty sweet. An easy win here in Division 1, if they can follow through with it right now. The win on the first map for the Geilen Baenger was already pretty solid, and they had a huge lead also in kills in particular. They're opening the second map up with 2 kills to 0, and at this point it's the Raiders that are showcasing once more that they are not going to just sit there and take this one standing. Nope. So they get a kill, get a bit of a foothold here, and now they have a chance to also secure themselves the first tribute of the game. So finally a first blood, but they gotta be careful because Nomi is still there and is threatening these hooks time and time again. We also got the temporal loop now in for the Chromester, and even Blaze is now rotating back to the mid lane, and there he is going to go for another minion wave, but he also has a chance to rotate up if they really feel that they need the assistance here to get the tribute. Hook, this time missing. Stormbolt connect, nicely done. Temporal loop is already out, and that's the end of Stitches. No more playtime for our boy over here. So there it is. 2 kills to 2, and that should be a tribute. Nano is running out of mana as well, but gets interrupted as the bosses spawn. 5 minutes into the game, both of the boss camps appear, and oh, Unforgiven. No, he gets crushed again. He already became the punching bag in game number 1, but it seems like this trend is going to continue over here. Yeah, Chromie with a bit of a trap, and Menaldor has to be careful, but as it stands, it might just be another tribute, or the first tribute for the blue team after all. It looked really good for the Raiders for quite some time, but now things are flipping once again, especially with Murder now being in trouble. And with in trouble, I mean he is pretty dead. He got Hanzo'd hard. So that's tribute number 1, channeled by Menaldor. Nobody in range to prevent that from happening. The first tribute goes to the blue team. Both teams with level 10 abilities now, which gives us also the Gorge. Of course he's going for Gorge. Nomi was always on the hungry side, and he's already waiting for the next hook, so he's trying to go for Sven here. As next camp is taken on the left side, or next minion wave is getting claimed on the left side here. Camps are also attacked, and Garflo, again, Greymane, obviously great for camp clear just in general. He's making his play. They're also making a move for the boss, and honestly, this timing is not too shabby because the blue team has not realized what's going on there. So they're not invading, and they're not taking their own boss either. So this whole thing gets taken by the blue team not realizing what's going on. And that's a bit of a problem, because while they are now able to go to the bottom of the map and try and take the camp here too, it still means that up at the top, this fort is very likely going to fall. If Greymane stays here and attacks together with the boss, then he's going to rip that fort apart. So this is a really nice position for the Raiders to be in. They have an absolute head start over the blue team in taking out the top lane a little bit. So this boss is finally taken as well, but the damage at the top side has already been done. So while they just took their own boss, the top fort has already fallen. So while the boss is now moving through the bottom of the map, the red team is pushing either the middle or just defending at the bottom of the map. One of the two things is going to happen here, but one way or another, the advantage is definitely there for the Raiders now. That was nicely done by them. So a bit of a nice play that they executed, and that helped them now to get ahead, at least in structures. Gonna make it a little bit easier at the top lane for them as well, because they still have access to their own fountain, of course. Level 10, by the way, for Muradin has still not been taken, so Muradin hasn't made a move yet. He is currently flirting with the Playmaker, it seems. I'm not really the biggest fan of that choice, but yeah, there comes Avatar. I like that a lot more. Now, don't get me wrong, the occasional Playmaker move is always worth it. If you come in with the big Haymaker, then that can be pretty sweet. But generally speaking, I would say if you compare the win rates, on the competitive level, of course, then yeah, it's pretty clear who is these days taking that one. Down to the bottom of the map, another play against Garflo, but he's still fine, able to move out. There's still also a camp that is now moving through the bot lane, so that's something else that the blue team has to deal with. Level 13 talents. Little bit faster for the red team, and they can capitalize on that extra talent now as they are making their move. And look at Sven coming in, trying for Death Knight, couldn't quite make it happen. Arrow straight into Chromie's face. They're trying to go for a little bit more. Gorge has been used, but against Blaze, that's not really going to do a whole lot. He's going to have his ult back in just a couple of seconds, but Malfurion is already out. Malfurion down. Greymane in trouble on the other hand, but they're turning it on Außenseiter. Hanzo has now also fallen. Another quick hook from Nomi. But Muradin still totally fine. More shots fired as Chromie keeps them at bay here and controls the choke points. Up at the top lane, even catapults are moving in, so this is even more damage on the top lane that somebody has to deal with. Hogga is now moving in to try and do exactly that, but as that plays out, Nomi at the bottom of the map falls. They're trying to go for Außenseiter as well. The slows are there, and here's the kill. What a killing spree for the Raiders. Not only did they destroy the fort at the top earlier with the boss, they now also dropped the one at the bottom of the map. They have an easy time to secure a second tribute for themselves here now. And they're looking good. They're looking really good. Very aggressive, 1.5 levels ahead. 6 kills to 4. A little bit more damage also with the sledgehammer now in the middle. Death Knight can't do anything about it, so that's another fort that gets destroyed, which now means that every single fort on the side of the Baengers has been destroyed. Every single one of them. They're also taking the walls down, so some of the vision is gone. Chromie has even more avenues that she can fire away on. 1.5 minutes on the boss here up at the top. Yeah, that should honestly work for them. I mean, they should have level 60 by the time, and I doubt that the blue team is going to have it, so they should be able to force that boss. And, well, considering the gap that we had earlier between the two bosses being taken, that's a really nice chance for them to make a double boss play if they force the issue. Now, if they get level 16 at this point, they might even force it around the tribute and go for the curse. So this is a really dicey situation for the blue team. They have a huge problem here. Because with level 16 kicking in, if that can be interrupted now, then they might just get the curse here. But I don't think they get close enough. Really nice zoning play from the blue team. They did really well on this one. They zoned them out completely. They were willing to force a fight before 16 was available for the Raiders. The Raiders were absolutely unwilling to give them that opportunity. Got pushed back, and then they started the channel right away, controlled the space, so without having to fight for it, they were now able to get that tribute. And that was a really important one, because they don't want to enter that battle. So that was actually that was a cool play. Didn't look like much, honestly, but this looked really, really good. Now, the boss is up in another 12 seconds, and as you can see, the gap here in talents, it's still there. If they wanted to go for it right away, they could, but there's also another tribute spawning, so they really have to double check where they want to fight that battle. One team is going to walk away with a curse now. And considering the fact that the blue team has already lost all of their forts, this is of course a bit of a problem. So they're trying to go for the boss first. If they can get this before the tribute fight starts, that would be amazing. But they were a little bit late to the party. So they had a chance to be there a lot sooner than that. They are still able to take this one though. The problem for the blue team is they just don't have level 16. Just now they finally get it. They might be able to interrupt here, but it seems like they're just walking away now. So they're getting cursed. The boss and Jesus. I mean, this is honestly worst case scenario. Not only are you cursed, you just had to give up a boss. Your bot lane is pushing with siege giants, threatening another keep, and you lost Hanzo. This is an utter disaster for the blue team. Their ambition to close this out with a 2-0 is taking a massive setback here. Muradin gets bounced around and nearly killed, but he pops the avatar, and he's looking absolutely fantastic. They go for Nomi, he comes in with a Gorge, they're trying to save him, and he is still alive. He escorts Greymane into the back line, but now the top lane is attacked. The keep here will fall 100%. With Maiev dying, it could be the end of the game. Down at the bottom of the map, as you can see, another keep is likely gonna fall, but this is an utter disaster. 18 to 16. The level lead for the Raiders. They come in for the core. And what a fantastic coordination here with everything that they were able to set up during this curse. Nicely done. They tie the series. Force game number 3. The Raiders with a victory on Cursed Hollow against the Geilen Baenger. GG. Die Geilen Baenger against the Raiders, and we are on Volskaya Foundry, one of the most boring maps in the pool, and apparently we can blame Ultralisk for that. Gavlo jumped into the chat a bit earlier and he said like, yep, you can blame him for picking that map. Even Fish chipped in a little bit and said like, who the hell picks Volskaya? That's what I wanted to know too. Ultralisk immediately came in and defended himself and said like, it's the most fun map ever, and everybody just came and was like, nope. So, Ultra and Vala, Außenseiter and Tracer, they're going for the auto attacks with Nomi on Tyrael. We got Death Knight on Deckard Cain and Mildor on Blaze. Uki is playing Muradin for the red team. They got a chance to turn this around, and we got the Vikings by Sven, Gavlo on Hanzo, Unforgiven and Lucio, and Gul'dan by Nano. At this point, we got Vala with an auto attack style. I like it. So Ultralisk, he is not alone, meaning dying once or twice is not going to be the worst thing here. They still have another damage dealer that can help out. He's not the solo carry. We got the Saki build for Gul'dan with the Chaotic Energy on level 1. So it's going to go full drain as the Vikings come in with a Viking Bribery. Gotta say, I didn't have Vikings on Volskaya on my bingo card. So that one is definitely unexpected. And against Vala, it's also kind of funny. I mean, she should be able to really get some solid stacks in when she can rotate over to lanes where the Vikings are on. Tracer's going to chase them down as well. So this should be an interesting game, to say the least. But, yep, here comes... Oh, hello, Außenseiter. Hey, that was close. Tracer nearly turned into first blood here. On the right side, Hanzo is already going for the camps. And the Vikings, they are ending up on the bot lane this time. So, yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Now, of course, 1 minute mark, the first camps are spawning. You want to get some items together, get those turrets for the later stages. There's a healing camp that you're trying to go for as well. And then it's all a question of whether or not you want to make a play for the objective, which always sucked on this map. Poor Eric. Professor Eric is already dead. A couple of extra stacks here. Ooh, nice. Good Stormbolt connect. Look at that. Menaldor. I guess we're gonna have a dead Blaze. But Gul'dan is also dead. Don't tell me he survives this. Okay, thank you. That would have been just too crazy if he somehow made it out there. But they come in for Außenseiter and nearly take him down too. Gul'dan is continuing here with the health funnel on level 4, and we got the Thunderburn. So it's going to be healing static on level 13 for Murden, but it's a kill for a kill. Top side, Vikings are still sitting tight. One of the best skins, by the way, for Tyria. Like, there's some really shitty mount, but really cool skin for him. So I like that a lot. Stormbolt is missing, so Tyrael is able to escape. Wondering a little bit how they're going to play this one now with Tyrael in particular. I absolutely love when we're having the games that are a little bit more memey when you come in and go straight up for judgment. And again, this is Heroes Lounge, so you could definitely try and pull that one off here. A bit more aggression against Gul'dan, against Lucio and Hanzo would work for sure. So if they can execute that properly and then get Tracer with a nice connect and maybe a follow-up from Blaze, you could definitely go for an aggressive style on this one. But at the same time now, with the first control point being unlocked, Vikings are already on position here. And this is, of course, the moment where the Vikings can really help you quite a bit. Because if you're just contesting this over and over again and buy some time for the Vikings on the side lanes, you can get some extra experience and really push these lanes out too, and maybe get structural damage in as well. Especially if you're getting kills like this one. So off we go. Tracer is down. Easily taken here. And in the meantime, the Vikings are already busy up at the top. So, good stuff. Vala is coming in to try and help out, so Sven needs to be a bit careful on this one. Actually, if anything, surprise, Ultralisk wants to take those minions out first, gets a couple of stacks together, Sven in trouble, and is being turned into a pincushion by Vala. You don't fuck with the Demon Hunter. So, Vala taking them down here. We got the Hot Pursuit now on level 7 as well. And let's go down to the bottom of the map. Still have a little bit of play with Außenseiter going up against Gavlo. But yep, here we are. 3 kills, 2-1. Vala up at the top side. Death Knight is trying to waddle his way out of this battle, but there's just no... Okay. Degat still died. Degat still died. Gets taken down. Nano... Yeah, nearly sucking the life out of Ultralisk here with this build. Has the level 7 with the Curse of Exhaustion. We got 4 kills to 1. And of course now also the play here again for the first Protector in the game. And the blue team is attempting to take over again. Initially it was the red team that took the lead here. And as they are pushing the top lane, we have the Geilen Baenger trying to at least get some points towards the objective, but it also comes at a cost since they are starting to lose some of that wall. And Menaldor, no! He missed it! And nearly got punished for that. They couldn't get that kill, but it was close. And now Außenseiter's flanking in and dies again. Genji main detected. Comes in and gets murdered. Level 10 any moment now for the Raiders, and that will also end up with them getting the Protector. Ultralisk trying to get out, and he escapes. Good for him. Doesn't lose the Gambit stacks. Here comes the Haymaker. Oh, that's already spelling doom right there. And the Vikings are starting to take over. This is, by the way, cheating a little bit. Like, that you can get Vikings in this one is just wild to me. So yeah, it is Viking time. It's also arrow time. Big connect here from Gavlo as he comes through and drops them a little bit. Yeah, nearly level 10 for the blue team. I mean, the smart money is on Sanctification, obviously. But I just love myself a good judgment. Hope dies last, but I think in half a level we're most likely going to see Sanctification for Nomi. We got the high 5 on the other side for Lucio. By the way, also here the Horrify for Gul'dan. And they're chasing Blaze down at the bottom of the map as Menaldor is just fully isolated and doesn't stand a chance here. But I still gotta give some credit to Ultralisk, at least for now. He has so far not died. Sanctification it is. A little bit of a sad one right here, but again, it's the smart one to take. There's no denying that. And this is game 3 after all. If it was game 2, then maybe they would have played this a bit more aggressively and gone for the memes. But not so if there is literally... I mean, it's match point. So yeah, 100 stacks also for Vala, so that's actually pretty decent for her. So she gets good damage out already, as you can see, 14,000. Way behind Hanzo, but once that Vala gets her level 16, once that she gets more stacks together here, those tanks at the front line are gonna have a problem. Nice! Sanctification denying, in this case, the arrow. The ult from Death Knight with Deckard Cain didn't quite work, on the other hand. Came in, stay a while, listen. And nobody wanted to listen to his old tired stories. It's like, yeah, nobody's gonna listen to that shit. So Tyrael, he's down too. So is Lucio. A little bit of explosion value there for just a second, but they are trying to provide a few more stacks for Vala now as well. Not only did she kill Lucio, but also gets a few more hits in against Olaf. So Vala's down. That's the first one. Nicely done. So Hanzo gets the kill on Vala. Tracer punishes him and then gets murdered by Gul'dan. So it's a bit of a back and forth between the two teams here, but at least a bit of the attack bonus from Vala is now lost. First death from Ultralist. He's still at 120 stacks. It's not too bad. Bit of damage has been done in the middle and at the top of the map. Both of the forts have taken damage. But the blue team, they are a bit on the back foot here. They are still trailing by 1.5 levels. And we have the Raiders now getting very aggressive around structures. This is honestly looking pretty good for them. Game number 1, they got absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. And then in game number 2, they had a perfectly coordinated attack with the boss and the curse. Also a siege giant camp at the bot lane. And now on the third map, they have taken a lead here for sure. Still recoverable, but they are the ones that are definitely in the driver's seat at this point. Now, Uki obviously has to be very, very careful with the Haymaker so that he gets good hits in. Sanctification already used, so they're really trying to keep Ultralisk alive at all cost, and that is going to make things a bit more difficult. Vala now also with the Tempered by Discipline as her level 13 talent, so a little bit more self-sustain as Vala goes into the untouchable. Can't touch this. Well, they're definitely going to try. Talking about touching things, they're trying to touch Vala again. First stun is already out, Stormbolt connects, and they are zoning off Myrden. Arrow missing. Narrowly missing the target over here as Tracer is going for Nano. There's the Horrify and another kill. Well, turns out they can touch her after all. And, well, Hanzo gets touched a little bit too. Inappropriately by Blaze as he dies, so that's a kill on each side again. 10 kills to 5 in 9 minutes into the game. 15 kills. Myrden is dead as Tracer is chasing them down. Death Knight was trying to go for the ult here, but gets interrupted by Lucio. And they're trying to get more damage in on Nomi as he is moving back as well. Yeah, we got a spicy one in our hands. There's a lot happening here. Tracer is back to business, trying once again to go for the MC Hammer over here. But, well, level 16 is very, very close for the Raiders now. They're in a great spot. They are chipping away slowly but steadily at all the forts. They haven't taken one of them down yet, but they're definitely in a position where they could happen. And the Vikings are, of course, controlling the flow of the game. Hello? Gul'dan was safe, and then apparently he poked his head out again and got punished by Vala. She's at 167 stacks now. Vikings also with a Largen in charge as level 16 connects, and that's a fantastic talent to have, especially when you're going up against, let's say, Tracer and Vala here. So that added stun can definitely drop them if connected properly. But the Baengers, they are now also claiming level 16 talents. Well, they're about to. So this is getting a bit better for them as the second objective is up for grabs. 10 kills to 7. They're closing the gap. At least they're trying. And there it is. And now we got Manticore. So Manticore with still 20% extra attack speed thanks to the Gambit and 172 stacks for Vala. That's pretty good. So Vala is gonna be really difficult to deal with now, especially for Myrden. Myrden at the front is gonna have a rough time, and Ultralisk is continuing to keep those headred stacks up, is trying to get some added stacks for his level 1 as he's dealing with Vikings. So this could be tricky. They're scaling very, very well into the late game, for sure. Now, as I already mentioned previously, with level 16 for the Vikings, they have a bit more value that they can add to any team fight. But if they can get close enough to Vala and Tracer to take them down, different question. And nice reaction time here by Außenseiter. Stormbolt not connecting with him, that was important. Again, Nomi attempting to section him off a little bit. And here comes the damage haymaker. But Vala is still getting hits in. Yeah, 176 here, and with Manticore they could do a lot. But the Vikings are of course doing exactly what they're supposed to do, pushing lanes and at the same time playing for the objective. Baelok, for example, still finds himself at the bottom of the map, pushing the lane out as the fight is now starting to focus more and more towards the objective. There's still a level lead for the Raiders, and the Vikings have a huge part in this. I mean, just look at the amount of experience that was soaked by them here. So massively ahead on this one. Minion experience, a 4,000 point lead on them. But look at that choke point play. Tracer with the kill. Vala takes Gul'dan down. And as we have Baelok at the bot lane trying to take a fort, Muradin dies as well. So 2-3 heroes dying. Huge problem now. All of the Vikings busy at the bottom of the map as the ult gets used to take the fort on. But of course it also results in the top lane being demolished. No chance to hold this one either. It is a trade at the end of the day. Both of the damage dealers are still there. Vala now has 194 stacks. And they take this fort with ease. Still a possibility for the red team to try and fight. Well, not anymore. There was a possibility to still go for the objective, but now that we have a staggered death on Lucio, that's not happening anymore. Even Hanzo is in trouble there for just a second and has to move away from it. Vala is moving towards the middle to take another fort down. They have closed the gap completely, and Ultralisk is just vaulting all over the place here. He is chunking them down at this point. Mad damage by him, 50,000. He's in the driver's seat now. Top damage in the game. Pretty respectable siege damage as well. Not only because of multi-shot, but also because he's now really firing away with the single target damage against structures. And of course against the minions here too, comes in, deals with the cam together with the rest of the team. We're having with the healing beacon here. Ultralisk absolutely on fire with this one right now. And starting to claim top damage and siege as well. Now they got the first objective for themselves. Außenseiter's jumping in and so does Nomi. So they can pressure the top lane a bit more. And they are ahead now pretty much everywhere. A little bit behind in experience, but not by much. Vikings of course still having an impact. But they have taken the lead in kills and also in structures. 2 forts are destroyed with the objective. They can now try and take that front wall out a little bit. Vala is already down at the bottom of the map. Honestly not sure if that healing beacon was really needed there. They could have probably sustained themselves through this too, but either way, they use the item, soak up a couple of shots. Now we have the Farflight Quiver. Level 20 talents are in for both of them. And Vala can just now chunk even further. I mean, you have the added safety of the range. There's the Holy Arena now for Nomi too, so that can assist even further. And on top of that, we get stuffed by Tracer. Someone is still escaping, so he gets away. Baelok is hiding at the bottom of the map, just waiting for the next opportunity to push that wall out a little bit. I like the way that Sven is consistently trying to just be a thorn in their side, but obviously the team fights are now starting to be a lot more difficult for them. Vala is just chunking way too hard. She's at 200 stacks right now, and she is making good use of every single one of them. I mean, just look at this. She is murdering the single target damage. Absolutely pulling ahead here. Blaze gets taken by Gul'dan, so the Saki build still being successful. Nice Stormbolt connect, well done. Tracer trying to get out, saved by... Damn son, saved by Nomi with a good sanctification. That's insane that Außenseiter survived there. They really all pulled together to make sure that Tracer didn't die. And then Vala just crushed everything. And look at her. She's top damage right now on Siege for the team. She's top damage in the game for hero damage. And Ultralisk is just having a fantastic time. He died once, meaning only 5% of the attack speed that he got through the Gambit Talon on level 1 got removed. And especially with the added range that he gets now with a Farflight Quiver, he is just crushing this. Absolutely crushing this. Such a great lead initially for the Raiders, especially of course with the Viking play that we've seen from Sven here. But now they are not only on the back foot, they're absolutely pressed into their base, having a massive problem trying to keep that keep alive. 13 kills to 11. And it's just brutal, absolutely brutal. I mean, Lucio's getting chased and eliminated. The keep has fallen too. And we're only 16 minutes into the game. So yes, we're on level 20, but they are just coming in with one hit after another. And ultraless damage is absurd at this point. Absolutely absurd. Look at Mirrodin here. Look at Mirrodin. Mirrodin is just disappearing. He's just disappearing. Doesn't stand a chance. There's the Haunt now coming in. 250 stacks for Vala. Can stop, won't stop. Ultralisk is on an absolute tear. He's working it, baby. One hit after another. And he is ruthless. Absolutely ruthless. They're sieging up on the core, trying to claim victory in this best of 3. Another couple of hits on Gul'dan, who dies once again. The Vikings, they're desperately trying to hold this a bit longer, but this is just not happening anymore. Insane plays. And yes, the scaling of Vala into the late game absolutely paying off for them. They are going to secure a victory in this third game and therefore the series. Nice victory in Division 1 for the Geilen Baenger as they take down the Raiders on Volskaya Foundry. GG, well played. Very, very solid performance here, particularly from Vala with insane single target damage. Nicely done.